Today you're going to look at creating a range of designs with your text for your album. So if you look at this slide, you can see that the artist has explored different coloured backgrounds. Mainly the text stays the same, but they've put different shapes around, different shapes behind, and here it's explored in an entirely different way. Usually you wouldn't just have one version of your idea. So you're going to open up in Autodesk Sketchbook your last week's work. If you want to change your title, you can. This is the point to do it. So if you're starting afresh, you need a square canvas to work on. If you're starting using last week's work, then you can just use a square part of this layout. So I'm going to put a square at the bottom. So I'm going to go to this layer here that's empty, and I'm going to add a square to it so that I keep everything inside the square format. Okay, so I reckon that's squarish, and I'm going to fill that with, I might select the outside actually. No, I'll do this. I'll fill the inside of it. Let's go for the yellow. Why not? Okay, so then you're going to move all the different elements around to create a range of different possible outcomes. So I'm expecting 4 different outcomes by the end. So you need to be on the layer that you want to move, go to the transform tool, and you need to move around to create different possible layouts and arrangements. So I'm going to try putting this here. So my other ones are all on their own. So I'm going to move the R around. So using the transform tool, this time I'm going to kind of line stuff up a little bit. Going to line up along the top line, but I'm not going to have them all the same height. So remember to use 2 fingers on your touch screen to be able to move things. I think it's that one actually. So I'm just going to show you how to do one different version, and then I'll put together all the ones that I do on a sped up slideshow so that you can see what I ended up with. So you're going to move all your letters to fill the space. In fact, I might put that down there. So these have got an overlay effect on them. So you can see it says multiply. They've got I'll just show you, they've got a blending mode applied here, which is why you can see through some of them. So if I was to change that to normal, then you see that that U changes back. Okay, so I'm going to move that U now to over here somewhere, I think, or maybe actually a bit further up. So I'll move the U up to here. Somehow I've got the O and the G on the same layer here. What you can do for that, to separate things, is a really easy way of doing it actually. So if I just show you, if it's getting a bit confusing for you, you can hide letters just by clicking on the eyes in the corner, and then you can see what's going on a bit more clearly. So I've got the O and the G on the same layer here. So if I just hide that U, and then you can see the O and the G. So I'm going to show you how to separate them. If you've got any that are on the same layer that you wished were separated, what you can do is select one of the things. So at the moment, I've just got the G selected on that layer. So then I can copy this layer if I do duplicate. So I've got two layers that are the same. You can see that I have here. They're directly on top of each other, so that's why you can't see them. But if I was to move one of the layers, you could see it. So I'm now going to remove this G. So but you won't see it unless I hide this one. So I'm going to hide that layer, and then I'm going to use the rubber to rub out this letter G. So you can see that I am rubbing it out. Oh, I wonder if it appears on another layer. So you can see on this layer that I'm working on, the G is disappearing, although I thought I'd hidden that layer. So there must be that G on another layer as well. Where is that G? And the G is also here, yes. So for some reason we've got that G in lots of places. Okay, so I'm just going to rub out the rest. So I've removed that G from this layer, which you can see on here. So actually, I'm going to throw this layer in the bin. So if I right click and put it in the bin, so now I've got the O on a layer on its own, and I've got the G on a layer on its own over here. So if you need to separate things, just select things, copy the layer, and then remove from one of the layers what you don't need, so that you've got things on their own. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm on the G. I'm going to move the G, transform it, and put it up here. I'm going to put the U back on. Actually, this is from the out, isn't it? So I need to put that there. Maybe I'll put it up here, small. So I'm just going to show my layers again. So I'm going to move the I to here. I think I'll keep it tall. And then I'm going to get the D back. I might make this really big, and I might apply a blending mode to it. Oh no, it's not going to overlap anything, so so let's show the U again. Dig out, need the O. There it is, that one. Okay, so you must make sure you're on the layer that you want to move. Let's find the T. Okay, so there's the T, and I'm going to move that now. Put it over here. Okay, so I don't actually like that yellow background. I think I might choose an orange and see what that looks like. So I'm just going to get the selection tool, select that yellow, and fill with orange and see what that looks like. Oh, I quite like that. So then I might add some of these stars in a lighter orange onto this background layer. Oops. Yeah, quite like that. And then I might use a really light yellow to do perhaps a different pattern. I quite like that. Dig out your soul. Okay, so that's my first attempt. So I'm going to go to menu, share, save to device, and I'm going to call it layout 1. And say save. And then I would go ahead now and make another 3 versions of this using different possible layouts, colours, sizes of text, different backgrounds, and then I would save all 4 in the same way that I just saved that one. And then I would present them all on a slide as here to show all my different ideas together.